Whenever you see a street dweller, what comes immediately into your brains?
The first thing that we all think is they're into drugs or they were chased out from home because they were stealing. Are they not getting a job because of the system, our government?
Some family matters, the problem at home. You see, like, we are black communities, like, shit is going on. Especially if you lose probably your both parents.
Well, we live in South Africa and 50% of our population are unemployed.
Wow.
It's really bad out there. And our education system is letting children down every day. Like, I'm stressing about paying my rent, but I know that I have family. I will never be homeless because I can live with my family and stuff.
And even a fellow street dweller is human. You understand that? There are certain domestic things that have pushed them to an extent of living on the streets. I'll tell you one story. Clive's mother was a prostitute. She never knew Clive's father. She was heavy in alcohol. Clive's mother took Clive to shelter while he was 4 years. When she left him there, she said, I want to be stable first. Find a house, find something sustainable, then I'll fetch him back. She was never heard of again. All she left was that she was Rose. Her name is Rose from Diepkloof. That's all.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Khotso Carter, and today there's a new segment added, and it's called The Word on the Street. That's where we go to the streets. We want to hear what you guys have to say about any conversation affecting SA youth, SA adults, SA in general. Hopefully we find you, and in particular you watching. I want to find you. I want to hear what you have to say about SA in our conversation. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, follow on social media, all platforms. Our handle is Bonga_the Mass Embrace, @Bonga_the Mass Embrace. Without wasting any time, here's what the people had to say on Word on the Street. Let's get it. With me I have
Kanyisani.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Kanyisani. What's your star sign, Kanyisani?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, Scorpio.
Yeah.
Right. You're a Scorpio too, cameraman, right? All right. The next question I'm gonna ask you is related to the conversation we're having in the podcast with Bonga.
Okay.
You know. So the question is, whenever you see a street dweller, let's say you're driving in your car or walking, what is your first thought that come into your mind?
I think the first thing that we all think is maybe they're into drugs or they were chased out from home because they were stealing and they were just affecting everything. And me personally, I think I also think about whether they're trying to get a job. Do they want to get a job? Are they not getting a job because of the system, our government? Yeah, I think about that a lot.
Wow. First time, before I even spoke to Bonga and actually got into the conversation and saw like how smart he is and met his friends and saw like he came from bad situations at home and then they had no other choice but to be on the street. I used to roll out my window. Somebody begs me, I roll out my window. I ain't got no time. Lock the door.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, you know, after Bonga, I have a totally different perspective on street dwellers, you know. If you had to think of a story of a street dweller, what do you think would have led them to live on the streets like that?
I think it could be a lot. It could be family-oriented. Maybe they were abandoned or they were chased out from a young age, especially if they're kids. Or maybe, like I said, maybe they got in with the wrong crowds and then it was drugs and they felt like they couldn't sustain their, drug addiction at home, so they had to move out. It could be a lot.
That's so true. That's so true. Because, hey, you never know where somebody comes from. And today we have
Nina.
Oh, Nina. Okay, now, all right. When you see a street dweller, what is your first thought? What do you think led them there to be on the road, begging like that?
Well, we live in South Africa and 50% of our population are unemployed.
Wow.
So it's really bad. It's really bad out there. And our education system is letting children down every day. So I wouldn't blame them, like anybody who's in that situation. I, for instance, like lost my job because the road accident fund went bankrupt and like I'm stressing about paying my rent, but I know that I have family. I will never be homeless because I can live with my family and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I wouldn't hold it against anyone who gets into a bad situation. But there is another aspect which is maybe taboo to talk about or something like that, where as a woman, I sometimes feel like certain people will demand my time and my energy and not just my money. And I think sometimes people like see a woman and they think that I'm a nurturer and I don't know. So I have obviously had like some bad interactions with people on the streets. touching me, yelling at me,
serious?
telling me that I should die, or
Whoa.
like, yeah, I'm sure everybody
like
has. I wouldn't like blame them. I think that they're probably suffering from like mental health, and maybe also
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
their
I was
lack
actually
of
about to ask you.
yeah, maybe their lack of support also makes them resentful. And like sometimes I do catch myself being like annoyed, and then I think to myself, how would I act in a situation where I had to see somebody who has money walking past me every day? Like I probably would also get mad. Yeah.
Wow. On the bus / street, we have.
This is John. Yes, governmentally Johannes Banyon, yeah, but you can call me Hassel K. That's a stage name when I'm on the street, on the mic, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, because that girl in the front told me that you actually have music on YouTube.
Yeah, I do release some hip hop shit, yeah.
All right, no. We are going to promote his music. We're going to put his handle down there, and then you guys check out his music. Careers and whatnot. Immediately when you see a street dweller, what do you think? What comes into your head?
I think most cases could be like some family matters, probably like the problem at home. You see, like we are black communities, like shit is going on, especially if you lose probably your both parents left, probably are left with your aunts, your uncle and shit. They ain't gonna give you the love that you to get from your parent. So it could lead to that shit. Like there are a lot of circumstances.
Maybe they treat you bad and then you just...
They're like, no, the best way, it's like, let me live. It's more of like, I would say, it's another... except the depression that we are going through in most cases, most of the men or people, it's something related to that, because it's driven by like circumstances, your background, and then it leads to that thing, Probably end up taking drugs, and once you take drugs, you start to lose yourself, and then you go straight. That's it.
So nobody just walks out their home and say, I'm going to live in the street.
Do you think you can leave a proper bed, man, just to live on the slab? Imagine now we had a snow last week. So do you think you can do that?
No.
Nobody can choose to do that. Nobody choose to kill themselves. Just the circumstances, they make you lose your mind.
That's the question answered. We're on the street with Khotso Carter. Signing now. You to tell me like...
No, I mean, now what I've noticed, Khotso, is that we live in a society where media has played a very almost pollutive role in maddening the minds of the masses. Media has ultra idolized this ideology of the value of a man being defined by material wealth. You can go to any, and I'm talking any form of, you will see, Khotso, whether it's a commercial, whether it's a music video, what will you see, Khotso?
You'll see luxury,
mansions, big cars, big.
Mm.
You know that, Khotso, that is toxic, because we are the most. This generation is the most media or consuming generation in history. Children of nowadays cannot live without a phone. They feel like the world has stopped. The TV, I know my sisters. When electricity goes, I don't know, they become aggro. Yeah, what the fuck? You understand? Because these things were designed to program the mind, to ultra idealize the perception of success. Khotso, ask anyone in Pinjam, I guarantee you, what is success?
Material.
They will tell you material. Which is bullshit. It's never the size of a pocket, but the size of the heart that counts most. So media has, in such a way, programmed people. Mababona a street dweller. Immediately, Magat. Jesus. He's not washed, he's stinking, blah, 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 blah. Already in the back of his thoughts, he has downclassed or downgraded that person to almost a doormat. You understand? Because media has fed him he's so full of that. What defines the value of a man is how much he has accumulated. You are successful. You understand? You're so cool. You understand? So for people to still see abantu bahlala itrateni being dirty and whatnot, you understand that? Already they don't want to associate naloko. because to them there's a stigma or a dogma of being, you understand, a peasant or a pest of the society or the masses at large. You understand that? So abanayo that approach of actually meeting the inner man, the core, because we are not defined by these things. We are not defined by we are the inner man. You understand? Yes, that is why you can find a rich person but who still commits crimes, who still bambas and gonzi, who still robs people, but is still a millionaire, but is still robbing. You understand? You still find the poor people who's robbing. So it's not the robbing, but it's the inner man. If the inner man is content with the crime, which means that person himself, it's more the, how can I put it, personality. Yes, so we have derived our like focus on the character of the being, merely because of what appears. You understand? Hence, that is why if you go to a meeting or going to an interview, presentable. You understand that? So that if boss is being charmed by your outward appearance, only to find that you are a pesky personality, you become a plague to fellow colleagues. But because you're this presentable corporate guy, you understand? Then you find a sweet guy, you understand, who will be loved by his colleagues. But because we're asking for a job, there's no jobs in this place. You understand? So that is, I love because you raised that. That is why I'm gonna ask you personally, because you've interacted before Sfigala. What have you witnessed? Did you witness any barbaric acts from them, or some people who saw you as a symbol of hope? You understand? Because they saw Gucci, you are passionate about this guy called Bonga, and to them you are giving them hope. That is why Usiga was like, I have a hope with Bonga one day will make it big, so he will come back and pull us out of this ditch. Yes, dog. Because one thing I'll guarantee you, in the end, even a fellow street dweller is human. You understand that? There are certain elements, aspects, and domestic things that have pushed them to an extent of being living on the streets. You understand? As interview it thoroughly, you'll be shocked and amazed at how much these people are warriors. These people have gone through a lot in life.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because just think about it, just on a general scale, what would push an intelligent, smart, young individual to stay on the streets? What would think of it domestically? Think of it, mama, papa, household. Mama, papa, I'm going to the streets, chef. Like, doesn't make sense. There must have been something that was ravaging at home to have pushed this individual to be a street dweller. You understand? Drugs were not, I'll tell you, they were not an option at home. Because most of them left while they were still school kids. These substances were actually introduced whilst in the streets. You understand that? They were, because now you're going outside, so you're being exposed to many things. Fellow peers, your fellow peers and brothers. You understand? And also because now you don't have your basic necessities like running water, warm blankets, warm meals and whatnot. Life becomes sort of a drag. So sometimes substances become like a coping mechanism.
Like a
because if you use
run away.
other many, even alcoholics, ask them, why do you drink? To forget what? The pain. You understand? Our minds were designed in a sense, some people crack under pressure. No one, I guarantee you, no one loves pain, Buffett. No one loves pain. We were programmed or born to resist or shy away from pain.
From pain.
You understand? We can do whatever it takes just as a comfort. And people find comforts in many different things. Some people even cut themselves. You know, Musa. Some
like
people,
the pain they feel inside, they want to.
you understand,
on
and
their body.
yes. But what I've noticed in Pincham, some of the harshest, most excruciating things or stories I've heard are from people who dwell in the streets. That's why I have tons of respect for them, because those people have gone through hell. You understand? For instance, I'll tell you one story. There's a kid, Clive. Clive's mother was a prostitute, and she never knew Clive's father because she was, she was heavy in alcohol. She couldn't keep a boyfriend, nor keep a job. Clive became a burden. She found a guy who said, I cannot raise a kid, I don't know. Clive's mother took Clive to shelter while he was 4 years. When she left him there, she said, I want to be stable first. Find a house, find something sustainable, then I'll fetch him back.
Whoa.
She was never heard of again.
I know I'm laughing, but
All she left was that she was Rose. Her name is Rose from Diepkloof. That's all. That's all Clive knows about his mother. He knows his mother is Rose. And then Umdeni Children's Home only accommodates children up to 12 years. After 12 years, they try to seek other shelters for you. Or if you're not adopted to such an extent, they have to release you because there's more kids coming in. It's an influx which they themselves are overwhelmed. So Clive found himself on the streets at the age of 12, which he continued until he's 20. He's 29 years today. Saddest part, Clive got a kid with Utabi. That kid was forcibly taken from them by social development, social work, saying you cannot raise a kid on the streets. Now look at this. Is this not some sort of a generational curse?
It is.
The very same thing that happened to Clive happens to Clive's son. And they took him at the age of 2.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
Just when you thought Clive's troubles are done, Clive inherited arthritis from his mother's lineage. You understand? He was hit by a car, a hit and run. This guy hit him. When he stopped, he checked. It's a street kid. Fuck. Close the door. Vroom.
Wow.
Guess what happened to Clive? He goes to hospital. They turn him away. They say he's stinking. But Hambo cares.
Wow.
Come back clean and then we'll help you. Clive felt so humiliated he never went there again because he was ashamed because they told him he must bath. You understand? Slowly his foot deteriorated. It turned black and understand.
Is it the one we always see like in crutches, maybe somewhere?
They amputated his foot actually.
Oh.
Clive has no foot anymore. So there's a white guy from Pretoria who heard Clive's story. Clive was even cutting edge. Yeah, he was a headline news on Cutting Edge while they were exposing medical negligence to say this guy's foot could be if he received chemo. Because the problem is that arthritis, once he got hit by a car,
the bones are already...
No, not the bones, but rather the vessels were clogged, blocked. So you know what happens to you when your vessels get blocked? That part of the body dies.
Yeah.
And it's because there's no adequate blood flow anymore. Yes, so his foot slowly died on him. So it was going to slowly infect the entire leg. So what happened in the end, they had to amputate it. You understand? So this guy took him into Pretoria, gave him a back room. And now, as we speak, they're actually pursuing a legal case. They're actually suing Helen Josephs for medical negligence for Clive's foot. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's just one of the stories. And I've got tons I could tell. But we'll speak as time progresses. So I think that's all we have for today, Bafethu. Deep. Wow. Don't forget, Bafethu, you like, you subscribe, you understand, you follow, you support, Bafethu. Young, ambitious black kids trying to, just, keep up the passion, keep up the good works, understand that? This is the mass embrace with the Bonga. Spethu Khotso. Khotso. Yes, Spethu. Bobby G, my daughter. Imbidla yama piano. And watch out for my track too, guys. Oh, it's gonna blaze. Faith. And I know Mzansi's on its edge and like anticipating what the BONG has up in store. I still got tons up my sleeves, Bafana. Just watch the space.
Oh, yeah.
So from Team BONGA, this is the Mass Embrace signing out.
Signing out. And,
Yep. That's all, folks. That's what's up. What's up, Dad? Yeah, Bafana, to BONGA with the Mass Embrace team, Bafana. I hope you like. I just pray to God that each episode, Bafana, by God's grace, may blow up so that it touches more lives, because we are not just doing this for entertainment or anything's sake. We're doing this for a greater cause, also raising awareness. You understand? So, yeah. By God's grace, Jesus Christos eNazareth, ubonga usithole uJob umondisi manjani umsongwenzibi kuba simophithi ngegama lesibongo. We out.
We out. Yeah.
Signing out.
Signing out.
Double.
So you born. So we as babon.